Good morning. Thanks for joining us here at TBR for the Law Enforcement Collaborative. I'm Jothani Blackwood, the Vice Chancellor here for Academic Affairs, and it is my privilege to introduce our fearless leader, Dr. Flora Tidings, Chancellor for the Tennessee Board of Regents, to welcome you.
Well, good morning, and thanks to everyone for being here today for this very exciting announcement that we have. As you all know, we are here today to launch the Law Enforcement Collaborative. This is an incredible partnership between the Tennessee Board of Regents, the Metro Nashville Police Department, the Metro Government, the Metro Nashville Public Schools, and Nashville State Community College. This new collaborative is designed to highlight positive points of engagement and career exploration with the MNPD. From childhood through college and the educational pathways required for great careers in law enforcement, both as commissioned officers and the many civilian careers that support public safety. This partnership represents an educational ecosystem that highlights and coordinates key opportunities for youth to get involved with MNPD as early as elementary school and continue to learn about careers with the police department through work-based learning and academic courses in middle and high school. The collaborative has also identified multiple education and career pathways at our community and technical colleges where students can earn stackable credentials that prepare them for the police academy or to work in local jails as correctional officers. Earned credentials can also lead to associate degrees in law enforcement or criminal justice, or in areas like information technology and cybersecurity, which will prepare students for the many civilian careers at the Metro Nashville Police Department. These comprehensive pathways are critical to advance the work of recruitment and retention for law enforcement so that we may engage and prepare more individuals for the police academy and service to our community. And while this model has been built and launched locally, we hope it will be the model to replicate across the entire state of Tennessee by all of our system of community and technical colleges working with their local law enforcement agencies. TBR is committed to host biannual convenings of all partners in the broader law enforcement collaborative in order to continue to identify areas of collaboration, bring in new partners, and share promising practices across the collective. I want to truly thank all of our partners who have joined in this important work, with very special thanks going to members of the work group, which included more than 24 representatives from TBR, MNPD, MNPS, and Nashville State. Several members of those work group are with us today, and I'm going to ask at this time if they will please stand and let us give you a round of applause for the hard work that you've put into this effort. Would all work group members stand? And now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce the 9th Mayor of the Metro Government of Nashville-Davidson County, who during his time as a member of the Metro Council and as mayor has made education and the safety of Davidson County residents his top priority. Mayor Cooper.
Thank you, Chancellor. Great, thank you for that. Very much indeed we have, and it's good to see Emily Reynolds, your vice chair here, and Brenda Haywood, our deputy mayor. I will say Dr. Jackson and Dr. Battle and Chief Drake. I feel Nashville is in really good hands, and this is a great thing to be here. Chancellor Tidings and Dr. Blackwood, MNPD, MNPS, Nashville State, TPR, that's a beautiful team. And this partnership is an example of what we can do when we come together, when we have a common vision and execute for our residents and our city. I love this program connecting our educators with our police leadership so that we can effectively train and support future Nashville police officers and personnel with the tool for a successful career. Now, you don't have to be a college graduate to be a great police officer, but the skills you learn in college are definitely skills that a police officer needs. We need critical thinkers. We need creative problem solvers. We need a police department that is as gloriously diverse as our community. And now Nashville has a great police department, by the way. That's one of the things you learn as mayor. But one of the things that makes it great is that it is always getting better and determined to always get better. And that's thanks to programs right like this. By increasing the number of students and trained professionals interested in various law enforcement careers, it helps us improve public safety. And policing is a great profession. You hear a lot of talk about how hard it is to be a police officer, and it is. Chief Drake, I think you would agree, and it is. You hear about the risks, about the scrutiny, about the challenges, about the danger, but also there's the service, because officers are called on to deal for all of us, to serve all of us. Now, and it is a great job. I mean, it's pay and benefits and pensions, but more than that, it is where you are making a difference. And it is a job where in great departments like ours, your colleagues and your superiors support you and take care of you while you take care of us. Now, Chief Drake and I want this program to be a place where people can bring their skills to, a place to learn and grow and serve. And so I'm just proud to be in this room, an event that brings Chief Drake and Dr. Jackson, Dr. Battle, Deputy Mayor Haywood together. I know we're on the right track. Now, it's a normal thing in Nashville, but it's not normal everywhere. And so I'm grateful to the Board of Regents, and I'm grateful to the leadership here in Nashville State. Particularly has been a great partner with Metro on so many things, including Project Grad. And Tennessee's public, community, and technical colleges are the institutions that we need to help train individuals interested in a wide range of careers, and I'm loving it that law enforcement, both commissioned and civilian, is part of their future and Nashville's future. So with that, let me introduce our great chief. I've learned how to say in this last years, and I love it, our chief, our great chief, because that is what the department is our department, working with the whole community, one person at a time, with experienced and qualified service providers who are, Chief, getting better every single day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Cooper, and good morning, everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining us to talk about this exciting new concept that's going to greatly enhance policing in Nashville for decades to come, while at the same time providing support and important career pathways for hometown students. Dr. Titans, I want to say thank you for hosting this morning. Your team has been unbelievable. I'm grateful to your staff and also to Dr. Battle's team for working with us. Mayor Cooper, thank you for your support. Your support here, being here, underscores how you feel about public safety, the police department, and Nashville's youth. During Mayor Cooper's tenure, already we've graduated 317 police officers in 9 academy classes since he's been in office. And just last week, we welcomed 56 new men and women from states around the country, new police officer trainees that are coming into the police department. While we welcome those that want to embrace law enforcement and transition their career in Nashville, we at the same time need to demonstrate to students beginning in the elementary years and continuing through the 12th grade that it's cool and rewarding to pursue a career in public service in their hometown. You know, I'm a native of Nashville. I grew up in East Nashville, but I must say that I had no desire growing up to be a police officer, much less the chief of police. I didn't see that coming as I was going through my elementary, junior high, and high school years. When I was a kid, police officers didn't engage with students the way we do now. In the 70s and 80s, you just did not see that. But we are a police department that engages today because we value that concept. One of my fondest memories this year is in March. We went to Madison, an elementary school, and I joined other officers as we read to elementary students different classes and they knew we were coming, but they dressed as police officers. This very diverse group of kids, young boys, young girls, different ethnicities, gender, everything was there, and they was excited about meeting us and hearing what we had to say. But that's the excitement we need to continue to generate with kids as we move forward. By engaging students in schools and special camps over a period of years, it's my strong hope that we will make a lasting difference in the lives of young people and in the safety of our city. Those initiatives include Read Me Days in elementary schools, drug abuse awareness and conflict resolution in middle schools, police activity league programs, summer camps, youth community police academy, cadet programs, and you get the potential for college credit. This concept would not be possible without the dedication of the Tennessee Board of Regents, Metro Schools, and other partners, and our police officers. And thank you for your commitment to Nashville and students of all ages. At this time, I'd like to have Dr. Jothani Blackwood, the Tennessee Board of Regents, Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs. Thank you. All right.
It is my privilege to introduce you to the collaborative. Because we're education, this is going to be interactive. Each of you all have a press kit in front of you. I want you to open it to the center that shows you the infographic of this collaborative and talk you through this model. The model that you see is transformative in the right hands. I want you to imagine this infographic in the hands of a parent of an elementary school kid at parent-teachers night. Now imagine that infographic in the hands of a high schooler meeting with their guidance counselor to figure out their pathway. I want you to imagine us a poster in Kroger for the citizen coming out of aisle 8, trying to figure out where they can get involved and have a career. In the right hands, we are going to change lives. I want to introduce you to the collaborative, which looks a bit like the game of life. Again, this collaborative is around a partnership that really highlights career exploration and chances of positive engagement from childhood all the way to career. The planning process behind this group, we have partners from Metro Nashville Police Department, Metro Nashville Public Schools, TBR, Nashville State, who worked the entire spring semester, putting in a lot of heavy lifting to ensure this was a sustainable model that represented the priorities of the Chancellor and Chief Drake to make a model not only for this city, but the one that would drive the rest of the state around law enforcement. I want to introduce you to the first image on that infographic, elementary school engagement. This is work that Metro Department has already been engaged in. We want to highlight that children need to get engaged, to have these positive engagements early on. Some of these have been highlighted, the Read Me program, the adventure camps, the outreach events. We want parents to know that there are opportunities now for their kids to be a part of these activities that enrich their life and let them explore law enforcement. If we look at the infographic of middle school engagement, this is where there are opportunities with PAL, which is the Police Activities League, the DARE program that we're familiar with, and summer camps to create these opportunities for kids to have hands-on experiential experiences with the police department. When we look at the high school portion of this graph, there are lots of opportunities for young folks to get involved. We want to start first with those opportunities led by the Metro Nashville Police Department, which includes the Youth Citizens Police Academy, which is a summer camp around career exploration. We're very proud due to a new partnership with Metro Action Commission. They have now funded for these high school students to receive stipends to go through this process, and that was an outcome of this collaborative conversation. Metro Nashville is also partnered with Power Youth for other summer employment programs for young people ages 14 through 15, and they're developing a cadet program, which will be a year-long process for high school students to continue that exploration. When we look at the high school, there are now great opportunities already happening with our Metro Nashville Public Schools, where we deliver dual credit in partnership with our community colleges for certificates and associate degrees. What is really important about this work is that we developed another partnership for Metro Nashville Police Department in this work with Pencil. And Pencil will be instrumental in giving the police department that logistical support to schedule them to get into the classes, to meet students, to do career days, and more experiential opportunities. We also are being very targeted in high school to not only spend time in those classrooms of dual enrollment that are like criminal justice or law enforcement, but to also identify other programs such as information technology, finance classes, management classes, so that students have a pipeline to civilian jobs with the police department as well. After high school graduation, the game of life continues where you can go multiple ways if you look at the chart. And what's important is that there now are multiple pathways to keep people in this collaborative. After high school, there are opportunities at the police department for both college and career internships, where you can study an area of your choice and get involved. And you can also be involved in those internships until you're old enough to apply for the police academy. The other thing we want to make really highlight with citizens is the opportunity for civilian jobs at 18 years old. One of the most important things that young folks will often want to be a police officer. They grow up and then they go work in a completely different field and lose that connection and passion. What we want is for students to be engaged after graduation at the department in civilian jobs till they're old enough to apply. One of the other opportunities we have for young folks is at the TCATs. The governor has provided funding to TBR to scale up correctional officer programs. Those will start in the spring with 18 TCATs and 5 community colleges offering those correctional officer programs that are focused on the jails. And that is another workforce opportunity to stay connected in that collaborative. We want to highlight the opportunities for community colleges that are there. Students can pursue certificates or associates in the AAS, the AS, or the AA in related fields. And also that correctional officer program for jails will be available there as well. Nashville State is the tip of the spear in this collaborative. They have done some very intentional modeling with Metro Nashville Police. They have the Better in Blue program, which helps train folks to be tower guards, bailiffs, jailers, or correctional officers to stay in the collaborative. And as well, they're educating the Blue program, where if you are already an officer, you can come back to Nashville State and get your 2-year degree in 1 year. So that's a great opportunity to continue. We want to talk about our partners. We've highlighted many of those already here, but I also want to highlight additional partners from PAL, Power Youth, Metro Action Commission, the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, Pencil, and again, the Planning Work Group. In terms of next steps, after today, we will continue our work here in Nashville to take this model to scale. We will be sharing these opportunities with all our K-12 systems so they can share with parents and students to get them engaged. We'll also be sharing the opportunities at our TCATs and our community colleges so that our citizens can see clear pathways to stay engaged in this collaborative. Then my team, the academic affairs team, will be taking this model to scale across the state. We want thousands of young people engaged in the law enforcement collaborative. So we will be bringing in other law enforcement agencies and partners to bring together our best practices and share those in our biannual convening. So at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Adrienne Battle, Director of Metro Schools, to share her portion. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Vice Chancellor Blackwood, for that overview and for highlighting the partnerships to these wonderful pathway opportunities. Also to Chancellor Tidings, to Mayor Cooper, President Jackson, Chief Drake, to the planning team who's worked so hard with pulling us all together in this collaborative effort, to Deputy Mayor Haywood. It's so good to be with you today. And I'm grateful to be around so many law enforcement officials and public servants who want to create great opportunities for our students. And they are our students, Mayor Cooper, as you highlighted earlier. At Metro Nashville Public Schools, we've been a leader in incorporating career opportunities and real-world experiences into our everyday school experiences. This is particularly true at our zone high schools that are home to our Academies of Nashville program, and it has been a national and even an international model that incorporates high-demand job fields and industries into our core academic programming, giving our students exposure to vital careers and thriving towards being prepared for Middle Tennessee companies and careers. We have also been pleased to have a great relationship with Nashville State Community College, again led by Dr. Jackson and the Tennessee Board of Regents, which has expanded in recent years with our Better Together partnership. This partnership is resulting in more early, post-secondary, and college opportunities for our students so that they can not only graduate with a high school diploma, but also graduate with an associate's degree or career certification or career certificate at the same time. Providing a strong pathway to Metro Nashville Police Department benefits our students and our community alike by giving our students the chance to work at an organization led by an MNPS alum, Chief John Drake. We know that there have been very difficult conversations in recent years about policing, particularly as it impacts the Black and Brown community. And as a district with a majority Black and Brown student body, that concerns me, which is why I think that it is important for MNPS and MNPD to do work together to show our students the benefits of being a police officer or working with the police department in a civilian capacity so that our next generations of police recruits understand and are a part of the communities, neighborhoods, and schools that they all serve and that they will serve. I not only want our students to see police officers as forces for good in their lives, I want all of our police officers to see the good and potential in the students that we serve. I think this innovative partnership will go a long way towards helping achieve both of those goals. So thank you, and now it is my pleasure to welcome a great partner in the success of Metro Nashville Public Schools, Dr. Shauna Jackson, President of Nashville State Community College.
Thank you, Dr. Battle, and it's so good to see all of us here together. Chancellor Tidings, Chief Drake, Mayor Cooper, Deputy Mayor, and all that have been a part of this. I have to tell you, Nashville State is just simply excited to be a part of this expanded collaboration that will serve as a model across our great state. Now, I believe there are two of Nashville State's existing partnerships that really served as a foundation for which this new bridge to law enforcement careers have been built. First, our Better Together joint venture with Metro Schools. Under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Battle, our institutions have locked arms in partnership to increase college and career readiness, college attendance, and college completion rates for those Metro School students who attend Nashville State. A key focus area is not only increasing opportunities for students to earn college credit before graduating from high school, but as important, closing the equity gaps for those who do. The second is a unique 1+1 articulation agreement with Metro PD that was developed under the vision of Chief Drake and his team called Educating the Blue. In that partnership, we have created 2 pathways for students to earn a 60-hour associate degree in law enforcement. Nashville State students start with us and they can complete 1/2, and then they earn the second half of that degree by completing the police academy. For those students who have already completed the police academy, they just simply come to Nashville State, finish the second half, and they also earn their degree. So it is a win-win for students that saves time and money. Educating the Blue was already in place before this collaboration because of the critical need for qualified officers. And I want to thank someone who's in the audience with us, Dean Brad Corcoran, who is a retired Metro detective who really led the efforts that you're seeing at Nashville State and has also been a key member of this new law enforcement collaboration. So thank you, Brad. I believe this is only the beginning of how we can work across systems, across institutions, to develop a strong local talent pipeline to meet the existing and our emerging needs. So please know that Nashville State is committed to student success and to being a workforce solution partner for our area employers. Thank you. And now I'll turn it over to Dr. Blackwood.
I want to thank each of you all for joining us and hearing about the transformative work of the Law Enforcement Collaborative. We are going to change Nashville and our communities, but more importantly, the lives of our students, all the way from youth to adults who will be in these careers. At this time, we would like to open it up for questions about the collaborative, and depending on the question, we'll invite the leader up to address those. So at this time, we're open for questions. feedback or applause, whatever feels better for you. So the timetable, the collaborative is unique in that many of the elements are already in place. I was asked about the timetable. Many of the elements that you see in the infographic, Metro Nashville Police Department has already been leading many of those efforts with the youth in the schools. Nashville State has started their work. The correctional officer work will start in the spring across those 18 TCATs and those 5 community colleges. We're already engaged in a dual enrollment space. So really the collaborative will continue to meet to make sure that we are all kind of pulling our parts together and, more importantly, communicating these opportunities to the community. The work is there, the leadership is there. We need the parents and the students to know that these opportunities are available for them. I would also share, Mayor Cooper, that starting in the spring, we are going to be planning a biannual convening. As we work with all of these partners and as we expand across the state, our goal is that all of those partners across the state come together twice a year to share new partnerships, opportunities for funding, sharing best practices across the state. So we will start the convenings in the spring as well. Thank you. Other questions? If there are no more questions at this point, I would like the Chancellor to say final comments. Just to thank you for being here. And again, thank you all for coming. Chancellor.
Well, I just reiterate exactly what Dr. Blackwood has said. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for taking time out of your extremely busy schedules to be with us today. We appreciate you all. Thank you.